Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving, yours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come.
The music you just heard is your invitation to settle in and prepare for our worship service. Please put your phones and devices in airplane mode for the duration of this service. It keeps them quiet and helps us provide a higher quality stream for our siblings attending virtually. Please know that whoever you are, wherever you are from, whomever you love, wherever you are on life's journey, you are welcome here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to San Gabriel Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. Whether you are here in the sanctuary or watching at home, whether you are with us for the first time or the 1000th, we are glad you are here. My name is Sky McCare, and my pronouns are she, her, and I am honored to serve as your lay leader this morning. It's right here. It's cut off. That's cut off. Thank you. San Gabriel is a member congregation of the Universal Unitarian Association. We are a movement working for a just, peaceful, and sustainable world. Sustaining each other here in community is one part of that work. Sorry, completely cut off. That's my mistake.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Mel Maas. My pronouns are he, him, and they, them. I am honored today to be your worship leader. I'm also honored to serve as your hymn leader, choir director, songwriter, and one of the caterers for today's coffee and conversations after the service. I don't say this to seek attention or accolades, but I want you to understand that I do this act of service for my community and my family. Without you, my life may have taken a very different turn. After you hear what I have to say today, you'll say that you play a very crucial role in my life today. In who I am as a man today and who I am in this place in this time. Please join me in reciting the words to light our chalice today. We light this flame to remind us love is the center. Love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains. Let us greet this day in song. Our opening hymn is In My Quiet Sorrow, number 1006 in the Teal Hymnal. The lyrics will be projected. Please rise and body and soul as you are able.
It's Wonderbox time if all the kids want to come up to the front. See what's inside our Wonderbox. We are in our fourth week of exploring some of the ways we can practice using our imaginations. We've explored them using them to have fun. We've been using them to help others and to find hope and to think outside the box. Let's look inside our Wonderbox to see what our clue is today. Come sit down so we can look inside. See what's inside here. What do we have?
American flag.
American flag stickers or stamps. I wonder what these flag stickers might have to do with our theme of imagination.
Imagining if a place is bigger than it is.
Ooh, that's a great answer. My guess is that these flag stickers are here to remind us that this weekend is Memorial Day weekend. Did you know that? It's a time when lots of people have cookouts and parties and we get a 3-day weekend. But does anybody know why we have Memorial Day? Oh boy, Memorial Day is set aside to remember the soldiers who have been killed in a war. And that makes sense because a memorial is something created to remind people of a person or an event. We also know that lots of people have different feelings about Memorial Day and war. So today we are going to explore how we can use our imagination to help us understand others and put ourselves in their shoes, while we are also honoring the bravery it takes to go to war and die for your country. And for others, it's about honoring how people have lost ones that they love. But I want to tell you a story called Decoration Day. It goes back to the first Memorial Day and invites us to use our imagination to understand how the holiday came to be. The day is May 5th, 1865, and we find ourselves in Charleston, South Carolina. The Civil War has just ended, and today is the birthday of Memorial Day. It's important to know that Memorial Day did not start out looking like Memorial Day today. There are no parades, no 3-day weekends, no super sales at stores, and no cookouts or folks getting excited at the unofficial start of summer. May 5th, 1865 was a day with no name other than Friday, and on this particular Friday, the story goes that a group of teachers, ministers, newly freed slaves, and abolitionists felt called to show their gratitude to the Union soldiers who had perished in an open-air Confederate prison. So this group of newly freed slaves began gathering things like flowers, made wreaths and flags, and set out to decorate the graves of the fallen soldiers. The following year, they did the same thing, but with a larger group, and by year 3, it had become a tradition. It was, in fact, on that 3rd year, May 5th, 1868, that General John A. Logan, the leader of an organization for Northern Civil War veterans, decided it should be more than just a tradition of remembering and honoring Union soldiers, and instead, he called for a nationwide day of remembrance, a day to commemorate all soldiers who died, Union or Confederate. In a speech he made, he said from now on, the 30th of May would be set aside for the purpose of placing flowers and decorating the graves of comrades who died in defense of their country during the late rebellion, and whose bodies now lie in almost every city, village, and hamlet churchyard in the land. As a way of honoring the original tradition that had begun 3 years earlier, General Logan named the day Decoration Day. And by the end of World War II, the name Decoration Day had been unofficially replaced with Memorial Day, and the name was officially adopted in 1967 and became an official holiday in 1968.
Stop.
And is the last Monday in May.
What do you think stop means? Keep doing it.
With this month's theme of imagination in mind, I think this story stands as a reminder of how healing it is to use our imaginations to put ourselves in the shoes of others. On Memorial Day, we imagine the courage of soldiers. which in turn leads us to being more courageous, and we can imagine the pain of those who have lost loved ones, and that can lead us to be more compassionate. Can you imagine? So we are going to take this story with us and talk about it more in the little house, okay? All right, let's go.
All children and youth wishing to go to their groups are welcome to exit. Everyone else, will you join me in singing them out? Go now in peace, go now in peace.
Why not?
May the spirit of love surround you everywhere.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I brought some stuff.
Okay. Okay, with Dad. Okay.
I brought some stuff to look at here.
You do? That's exciting. Are you ready to go?
May the spirit of love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Sometimes we're carrying something in our heart that can prevent us from being fully present. Here in this community, our sharing of these things is a form of medicine. It is healing. Like all good medicine, it must be concentrated and potent. Aim at 2 strong sentences. So if you're carrying a joy or a sorrow or both on your heart, I invite you to share it in this time while one of us is practicing vulnerability, of praise or grief. The rest of us is practicing the gifts of presence and listening. Thank you. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. For all that remains unspoken, the love of this community is with you. Today, I am happy to share with you yet another one of my original pieces called Who Am I?
I'm an analyst in the daylight, crunching numbers out of sight. Cowboy boots in the moonlight, wrangling dreams in the night. I'm a poet with a pen so sharp, writing verses from the heart. Singer, artist, hitting every part, bass voice reaching every chart. Who am I? Center stage.
I invite you into a place of deeper stillness and reflection. Today, I bring you two poems by Shel Silverstein. The first is a reflection of Mel's childhood. Underface, from Everything on It. Underneath my outside face, there's a face that none can see, a little less smiley, a little less sure, but a whole lot more like me. The second is a reflection of the whole of his life. Listen to the mustn'ts, from Where the Sidewalk Ends. Listen to the mustn'ts. Child, listen to the don'ts. Listen to the shouldn'ts, the impossibles, the won'ts. Listen to the never has, then lost close to me. Anything can happen, child. Anything can be.
Faggot, sissy, pillow biter, fudge packer, cocksucker. These are words that have more power than most people imagine. They shape the lives of young men and male-identifying people. Now that I have your attention, I'd like to tell you a story. But not just any story. I'd like to tell you my story. At a young age, I knew I was different. I didn't like what other boys liked. I didn't like to play sports. I hated gym class. I was teased for wanting to dance and sing. I grew up in a neighborhood in northwestern Ohio where I was comfortable playing with the girls. I was always dad when they wanted to play house, and when the boys played G.I. Joe, I was playing Barbies with the girls. Talent show games were our form of fun, and the only normally masculine thing I ever did was Cub Scouts and then Boy Scouts. Kids can be cruel. They can be evil. And their formation of normality is bound by societal and parental norms. The pressure to be normal causes constricted points of view and normality. The pressure to be normal, When I was a boy, as a boy, I did something that was out of the norm. I was not only taunted and teased, but I was beaten up. I was physically assaulted by my peers. Today, I don't blame these boys for their actions. I do blame their parents. I do blame societal norms. I do blame the fact that they were socially indoctrinated by media, by social pressures, and by peer pressure. And this became even more damaging when it was further reinforced by my own father. At 7 years old, my father told me that I would never be a man. Because I didn't like to go fishing. I didn't like manual labor. I didn't like war movies or westerns or martial arts. I didn't like anything that had the toxicity of the male stereotype. He told me on many occasions how I was disappointing to him because I wasn't man enough to do the things that men were supposed to do. As you can imagine, this was traumatic for a boy to hear. It caused inferiority issues, it caused me insomnia, it caused me depression. It caused me so much stress that by the 3rd grade, I was going bald. My mother had to take me to a doctor The doctor told my mother that I was stressed out to the point that I had to take medication to keep myself from going bald. And all because I was doing so much. I had so many irons in the fire in 3rd grade because I was trying to make my dad happy. I was trying to be his boy. This level of hate, disgust, and viciousness is not everything everybody has to deal with every day. But it was my everyday life because I wasn't masculine enough to conform to the norm. The term masculine should never define who a man is. Just like the term feminine should not be used to qualify what a woman is. During my childhood, up until I was a teenager, I didn't realize that children would be children doing childish things. I didn't realize it. Society tells children that even when they don't understand something, they should fear it. And that fear manifests as hate because children don't know how to regulate their emotions or how to look at dislike or detest something before hatred. When it's something society finds distasteful, children don't know how to process this in any way except disgust. Finally, we all know that how vicious children can be when they don't understand something or the differences between them and what they're seeing. I personally experienced this between ages 5 and 15. 10 years of my life being called those names that I started today's sermon with, and more. What makes my story different from some and yet the same as others is that my father was all the same behaviors against me. He was reinforcing that I was not good enough and that I could never be good enough. And that triggered me into a constant behavior of seeking attention from older men to validate me, to validate my life, to validate my actions, and to validate my very existence on this planet. The feeling of not being good enough made my life unbearable until I was 13. This is when I met my first male friend. He's a boy in my neighborhood. His is not my story to tell. But I'll say this. I was attracted to him. He found that he was attracted to me. We showed each other attention. Eventually, we did give in to our hormones, and that's when I realized that I liked boys. We continued this friendship for about 1.5 years. During that time, I was validated. It didn't matter if people called me names because I felt like I had a shield. I felt like I had an armor on me because I had somewhere I could go and be me at that point. I got to spend time away from my family, which I was feeling. However, when I did go home, my brother has now picked up from my father that it's okay. It's okay to call me those names. It's okay to assault me. It's okay to make me feel less than. Then my friend got sent away to military school, and my life got progressively worse at home again. My family made it clear to me that I wasn't normal. My father stopped picking on me. He went from picking on me to complete abandonment. I didn't exist. As long as he didn't talk to me, I could be paint on the wall. Except for a few random moments. The one thing my dad actually figured out that he and I could bond over, and that's when he went out to the woodshed and we would actually work on woodworking projects together. It's the only time he and I could talk. And as long as we were talking about wood or power tools, we were fine. But the minute I walked out of that garage, I was invisible again. At that point, my mom's favorite phrase had now become, "Why are you being so dramatic all the time?" Aggressive drama queen I have ever met day. Far be it from me to say, "Mom, I learned it from you." How aggressiveness, let me tell you something. A, it kills somebody's self-esteem really, really fast, and it is the easiest way to make your child feel less than. Passive aggressiveness will make a child feel less than easier than you beating them. You hit me, I'll stand back up. You be passive aggressive with me, I will feel like 2 inches tall sitting in the bottom of the corner. It is worse. Finally, we left this teeny tiny little farm town where sorry, y'all, you've seen me, right? I can't hide. Teeny tiny little farm town, all white people, right? Where am I gonna hide? I dressed just like I dressed today. I'm not gonna hide. 1991, we moved to Texas. I moved from a little teeny high school of 300 people to a high school of 5,000. Now I can hide. I can hide in plain sight. I'm a blip on the radar. I also figured out that I could hide the fact that I was gay. Did I find boys attractive? Absolutely. I was drooling over boys just like the girls I was friends with. However, I could figure out that I could date the girls that none of the boys wanted to date. If you've heard the term, it's called having a beard. If you have a beard is a woman who usually dates a gay man or an asexual man in order to have societal normality. Because he doesn't necessarily want to be with her and she doesn't necessarily want to be with him, but hey, we look good in public. Now, I had 3 girlfriends from my sophomore year until I graduated. Yes, I did experiment with heterosexuality during that time. Yes, I did have general success. Yes, I did experience the same scares and fears that most heterosexual men have in high school. That doesn't mean anything more than, oh great, now I know I can hide. Let me tell you something. For somebody who knows that they do not want to be with a woman, the worst thing they can do is sleep with one. Because now they know they can hide. You don't want that knowledge. Okay, went through high school, did the thing. Living at home with my parents, that was a thrill. Graduated school, started doing some social things, met another guy. Was very interested in this young man. His name was Mike. We hung out. Our thing, we started going on Friday, Saturday nights to the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Started doing that every Friday and Saturday night. One Saturday night we came home. Now, my parents were cool for the most part. I could have friends over. They really didn't care. I was an adult. They were good with that. My friend Mike came home with me that night. Not unusual. Next morning, my dad knocks on the bedroom door, except he did something different than he normally did. He cracked the door open. He saw me and Mike snuggled up under a blanket on the floor. Of course, my father came to the correct conclusion. Mike and I woke up, got dressed, walked down the stairs. When we came down, we announced that if I lifestyle, I could not. Therefore, I was kicked out of my family home. Let me draw this very picture for you. I was 18, no income, no car, now no home. This is the word fear. I had no to survive, afraid that I would be out on the streets. Thankfully, Mike's family knew that he was gay. They allowed me to come live with them until I could figure out what I was going to do. I tried to get a job, but at the time, living in the area that they lived in without a car required a 3-mile walk to a bus stop, where Cap Metro stopped 4 times a day, twice in the morning and twice in the evening. Good luck finding a job with that bus schedule. I couldn't live this way. Eventually, my partner's mental health issues, which, by the way, he never told me about, they took over. He had a break, and he started lying to his family and telling them, oh, by the way, Mel's smoking pot in the back bedroom, and by the way, he's selling pot out of the back bedroom of the house. Okay, there's a few things I've never done in my life. Selling drugs is one of them. So guess what? I got kicked out again. No job, still no car, still no income, still no place to go. So I called a friend. Her name was Jenny. She came and picked me up. It was me, a radio, 4 shirts, 2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of shoes, and that's all I had to my name. She took me to a tiny studio apartment. If I had to guess, it was about 300 square feet off of North Lamar, a very unsavory part of North Lamar. This roach-infested ghetto apartment where no human should have been allowed to reside. It was me, her, a queen-size bed, and her cat. We had about 3 feet of walking space, a kitchen that should not have been listed as a kitchen, a bathroom that had a toilet, something that resembled something that might have been called a shower, a sink that was about, a foot wide, and a closet that fit my 3 shirts. Yeah, I was rolling in it then, wasn't I? This is when I realized in order to survive, I again had to suppress who I was. Jenny made it very well known to me that she had an attraction and an admiration for me. And I was on the forefront of her mind. Guess what? This gave me the opportunity to revert back to my lifestyle when I was in high school. Remember, I said I didn't want that knowledge. So here I am again, acting straight to survive. My inability to be who I was caused me depression, anger, suicidal ideation. At this point, I want to focus on one thing that I never thought I would have to focus on, and that was my anger. For those of you that know me in this church, I am Mr. Happy. I bounce around here and flit around here like nobody's business because I really enjoy the hell out of life. I was not like that. At that time, I didn't understand the power of anger because when I was growing up, anger is how my father dealt with discipline and punishment. I didn't realize that I had the capacity to be so angry I could punch walls for hours. I didn't realize that I had the capacity to hurt people in bad ways. During the first 6 months that Jenny and I had lived together, things were okay, except I kept my anger at inanimate objects. We got growing pains as newly cohabiting couple had, and in many ways, we complemented each other. We ended up getting married because I, yet again, was trying to gain my father's approval because that's what good Catholic boys did. We moved out of that apartment, and that's when my first resentments toward her began. I was working 40 and 50-hour work weeks while she was home socializing on the online BBS boards back in 1996. Chat boards. All day long. That's all she did. Because her daddy was paying her rent. While on those boards, I just got more angry and more angry and more angry. Her mom was the one who saved me. Her mom introduced me to a Unitarian minister. That Unitarian minister said, "You have some anger issues, dude." And because of what that Unitarian minister did, I put myself in voluntary anger management classes. And thank God I did. Because that is the one thing that kept me from doing anything stupid and put myself in real trouble. That's why I can be the way I am today. That's why I'm happy to be here every week. That's why I'm happy to sing. That's why I'm happy to do the service that I do for y'all every week. At that time, knew about my past. They knew I dated men before I ever married Jenny. And this is why 2 years into our marriage, when Jenny and I divorced, that though I was faithful for that 2 years, she was the one who found comfort in the arms of another man. When I left after couch surfing with a friend for a week, I broke down. I felt like I had no choice but to call my mom. I explained to her that though I had been married, I really would prefer to be with men, that I am gay, and that I need a place to call home again. I can't do it on my own anymore. Now, just so that we can put this all in perspective, I'm 22 at this point. Mom, I need help. My mom welcomed me back home. She was kind, she was understanding about what happened. She told me that though she was happy to have me home, I would still have to live by some rules. They were simple, they were rules of respect, and I really didn't have any issues with the rules that they put forth. I really didn't. The only rule my mom and dad really had at that time was I couldn't have any men spend the night. Okay, I'm good with that. That is a rule of respect. Awesome. I couldn't have any men in my room alone. Okay, I'm good with that. You know what? They had the same rules for my younger brother. He couldn't have any women spend the night. He wasn't allowed to have women in his room alone. I'm good with this. There's no double standard there. Cool. Now, they would any public displays of affection and sexual intimacy out of their home. Okay, now we're starting to get into double standard territory because my brother had his girlfriends at the house making out in the pool. Okay, now we're in double standard territory. So, having to hide that side of myself, feeling a bit oppressed, I was still seeking the validation of older men. Now, I went seeking that validation. I was 22 years old. I was dating or seeing men that were 15 to 20 years my elder. Here's the problem, or the catch. It's not a problem, it was a catch. The catch is, my dad was 18 when I was born. I was dating guys that were older than my father. So maybe people could say I had daddy issues, just a bit. And I was seeking a father's validation that I wasn't a misfit. Now, that led me to dating people and having trust issues. because I needed them to be honest about what they wanted. For the most part, I had a good dating life, except that I never thought would happen to me. I was on a date with a man I'd been interested in seeing. We'd hit it off. We'd had some conversations. We'd met a couple of times. We'd decided to get intimate, and I had to stop partway through and say, we're not going to go there. The problem was he decided that he was going to go there. First incident of gay-on-gay violence, because he proceeded to sexually assault me. As with most men, gay and straight alike, I did not report the sexual assault. I also never saw that guy again. The problem is that that has happened to me 2 other times since then. I'm not a small person. But when you're put in a vulnerable position, no matter who you are, it doesn't matter. When somebody decides they're going to take advantage of you, they're going to take advantage of you. I'm going to tell you that, in my opinion, and usually in the opinion of others that I have met, this is not, my pages got all messed up. There we go. In my opinion, and in the opinion of some others that I've spoken to, this hasn't really adversely affected my life, because I have seen what has gone on. I have not shut down like other victims of sexual assault have in the past, and have had issues because of this, but those men, they have issues. Because if they have to take what they want, they got problems. They got serious problems. I learned that I'm strong regardless of what I was told when I was younger because of what happened to me. This is when I realized that before the era of the internet of today, circa 1997 through 1999, in order for me to find men to potentially date, I had to go to bars. Wait, I had to go to bars to find my people. It was rare to find other gay men on the streets or at work or virtually anywhere. As I see it, when society takes a disenfranchised people and tells them in order to find others, you have to go to a bar, they are asking for those people to develop alcohol and substance abuse issues. Sorry, you can't go meet people out in the park. You can't go meet people at work. You have to go to a bar where they're going to serve you booze. Oh, by the way, there are going to be drug dealers in the bathrooms. That's where they're going to put you. That's where you have to go. It has been proven in studies, specifically, I found it was proven that LGBT adults are twice as likely to develop substance abuse issues as their heterosexual peers. And that's today. Can you imagine what it was 20 years ago? And we wonder why the LGBT community is killing itself with substance abuse. Leads to other issues such as promiscuity, unsafe sexual practices simply due to poor decision making because everybody's high or drunk. I had my first healthy relationship in 1998. This is when I took a turn, my life finally took what I think is the first and permanent upswing that I had. In 1998, I met a couple. They were looking to spice up their relationship, and what none of us had realized is that all three of us would fall in love. My relationship with them was a 5-year relationship, and it was mostly a great life. We spent 5 years being happy, truly, truly happy together. The best part of it were my parents finally learned to accept me for who I was, and as odd as it was for me to be in this threesome relationship, they accepted both of my partners for being my partners. The reason that our relationship ended at 5 years is because I had just turned 30. I decided that I wanted to venture out and try to find somebody who wanted a family, because the elder person in the relationship had already had his kids. He didn't want to go through the family thing again. He didn't want to have kids again. It was not on his life plan. So we had an amicable breakup. That's what we did. I wanted one thing out of life, they wanted something else out of life. So we split up the CDs and I moved out. I finally had a good job, I could venture out on my own, and this is when I really started going out. I started trying to be a social gay man, trying to find life with, and it was also when I had my first experience with violent homophobia. One evening, I was in downtown Austin waiting to get into a club. I was talking to a drag queen that I happened to know, walked up, said hi, gave me a kiss on the cheek, and I realized at that time that I was hearing slurs out. And on 4th Street, 3 rocks and 2 beer bottles come flying at us from at the side of the club. I will never forget the slurs that I heard that night, and I will never repeat them in mixed company because they were the most grotesque words I've ever heard in my life. It was shortly after that that we started seeing the headlines about 4th Street not being safe. And it was shortly after that that Austin finally put in an LGBT specific department within APD that patrolled the 4th Street district. People just stopped wanting to go out. People were too afraid because homophobia finally hit Austin in the late 90s. In 2004, I met Brian. He was an amazing man. This presented a whole new set of challenges for us, though, because when we got serious about our relationship, we decided we wanted to get married. Couldn't do that. Definitely not in Texas. We had to face we weren't allowed to get married. Second, if we had to face the challenges with our rights, then we couldn't. He had family that was constantly in and out of the hospital. I couldn't visit his family if he wasn't there because I wasn't family. Additionally, we had issues financing our home because we had to take a billion extra steps to get joint financing because we weren't married. We dated for 10 years before we were finally allowed to get married. Our marriage was good for a while. We faced, most the same problems any heterosexual couple. But we also faced some other issues. Because one thing people don't realize is when you go to LGBT-sponsored events, guess who they're sponsored by? Tito's, Absolute, Bud Light, Coors. Name a liquor company. That's your LGBTQIA event. Guess what? Everybody's getting drunk. Guess what? Hi, my name's Mel. I'm an alcoholic. I started drinking alcoholically when I was in my early to mid 40s. I have been in and out of recovery since I was 45. I've been in and out of recovery now for 5 years. This church helps keep me sober every single day. I got divorced from my ex-husband not because I was a drunk. I got divorced from my ex-husband because I got sober. As silly as that sounds, I got sober. When my husband and I separated, I came to being gay. It was 2020. COVID was in full swing. I got my own apartment. Oh my God, what did I just do? Just as COVID was starting to ramp down, we were finally starting to, things were starting to become safe again. Now I'm like, oh crap, I'm in my late 40s. How do I date? I can't go to bars because I'm sober now, and going to a bar is paramount to me just diving onto a hand grenade. So that's out. I don't play sports, so joining the gay softball league's probably out. Okay, let's download this app. Okay, so instead of bars, we're using dating apps. Let me be very clear, these are not dating. If anybody says it's a dating, these promote hookup culture. They propagate the stereotypes about promiscuity. They propagate a very vapid culture amongst gay men especially. I am far from being a saint. I wear my devil horns very proudly. Yes, I partook of these apps, arguably too frequently. These apps also have the ability to both lift a person's self-image or tear them down. They're how somebody looks. They're not about substance. You post a picture and you hope somebody likes what they see. You look at other people's photos and you try to talk to them. Okay. Let me give you a little gay culture lesson. There are 4 gay archetypes on an app. Archetype 1, twink, hot, young, thin, hairless, fit man. 2, bear or cub, muscular, hairy, heavy-set man. 3, twunk, overly muscled, younger man, minimal to no body hair. 4, daddy, dad bod. Usually these apps, they're under 40 years old. Okay, these archetypes are typically unattainable because everyone on the app has an ideal that is not achievable. Additionally, the variety of preferences make a match even more difficult. As if that was not bad enough, the value of these sites is impossible to meet in person. This really enforces negative stereotypes, but these stereotypes come from somewhere. Likely based in at least half-truth. Not that these apps are all bad. If it weren't for these apps, I never would have met TJ. And I probably would not be in the healthiest relationship I have ever had, okay? Okay. As I'm getting ready to close, one other thing. I have self-identified for 27 years of my life, and during that time, I have been accepting of people from the whole of the rainbow. I have noticed a major issue. I see where there's an internal conflict in the rainbow, especially where our bisexual siblings are involved. I realized that I fell in love with a bisexual man, and I had to reframe my thoughts and feelings about bisexuality very quickly. In this reframe, I have been made aware that I may not have been as gay as I thought I was. It was a aha moment for me, for sure. So, today I'm opening up to my fellows, to my family, that not only do I have the most wonderful boyfriend that I could have asked for in the world, but we also have an amazing girlfriend, that I have come to realize that there is a freedom in each letter of LGBTQIA, and that I am proud to say that I have found my freedom now as a polyamorous, bisexual, cisgendered male. And that does not diminish anyone else's journey, as I know people from all across the rainbow that are also proud to be who they are. Now, mine is only one story. And believe me, this is just a glimpse into my story. The stories out there are wide and diverse as the people that are willing to tell them. TJ pointed something out to me, and I really want to end this with this quote. As I was writing this, TJ pointed this quote out to me. What bigots presume is that identity, personal identity in particular, is permanent and fixed as if it were titanium. Whereas in reality, identity is rather quite malleable, more akin to water. Identity flows and changes in shape, direction, and volume. Yet it alters the more seemingly physical environment around it, roughing out the edges, leaving behind a more polished surface with which to reveal shimmering truths few would dare to gaze upon. End quote. And this is what brings us together in our upcoming month of Pride.
We take an offering each week to sustain the spiritual home and to support the work of our fellowship. If you are visiting, we invite you to fill out a visitor card, which you can put in the plate or return to the visitor table in the back. For our offertory music, we have Broken Glass and Second Chances by ATX Wolfie. The offering will now be gratefully received. Thank you.
Bottle smashed on the floor, heart is heavy as stone, stumbling through a crowded door, feeling lost and alone. Memories a hazy blur, shouting at shadows and rage. Don't know who I even were. Time to turn a new page. Sick of falling apart. In the night, need a fresh jump start. Gotta make it right.
Sometimes we're called to add our voice to the chorus, and sometimes we're called to speak aloud the message resonating in our hearts. If you're called to reflect or express gratitude, please raise your hand for the microphone. Yep.
Hello. I think everyone's story is important. I think it was very great of you to share your story, and I appreciate that you chose to share it with us.
Yes, so my name's Rod. Thank you for sharing your story. It made me think a little bit of my brother. I won't get in this way, but about 3 years ago, I found out that he's 73 years old, and he had one of my sisters tell me, because he was afraid of that myself and my family would judge him. And my very first thought was how sad I felt for him. There was no judgment whatsoever that he couldn't live his life the way he wanted to live. And then when I did have a chance to talk to him about it, I told him that. I did ask him, though, how do you reconcile this with your politics? Because he's as maggot as maggot can get, and one of those that's out in your face about it. So we don't talk very often because of that. He said, I don't want to talk about that. And we really haven't talked quite a bit about it. He told me a lot of the stories that's very similar to yours growing up. He's on his fourth marriage to a woman, and he's fathered 3 children. But the last I heard, he told one of my sisters recently, he says, all that I told you for. So I guess his story is still very complicated. So.
Hey, I forgot your name, man, but I liked your message a lot. It resonates with me. I fight a lot with dealing with what it would be called homophobia. Not for any reason. It's just that I love the species a lot, and out of that love, it elaborates to the point. Hey, brother, grab a woman. We need you to make a baby, or we're going to die. And so it's out of fun love. It's a joke, and it's not a bad one, I hope. But your message taught me something that I already know. Like I've had moments where I like dudes. I check dudes out, man. You know what I mean? I check them out. Because I like to measure myself. Like, dude, are you cuter than me? Will she like you more than me? Dude, I'm okay with it. I'm not homophobic. I'm just telling you, you need to make babies. But what was I saying though? What was I saying? Yeah, well, thank you, man. Your message was. Oh yeah. And another thing you said. Yeah, as far as masculinity is concerned. I'm from the dark side, right? You can get touched and handled, even not in a bad place. Someone can snipe you, so you don't have to say it like that so much. No one is safe. We're on the dark side. There is no such thing as safety, only caution. And so we can love each other better about what you said there. And I love you, man. I'm here for you. I got my 2 hands for you, man. Love you, man.
Thank you, Mel. I know you share, but we really appreciate it. Probably you all know that our son is gay, and he's also gender fluid. And when he came out when he was 14, we were not surprised at all. We were just kind of waiting for him to say, because when he was 7, he had a huge crush on the boy band 1D. So it was a little bit of a tell. But in our family, it was like totally not an issue. It wasn't a big deal. We actually tried really hard to educate ourselves because we didn't want him to have a hard story. But nonetheless, my parents did reject us. They yelled at us and said we needed to stop this behavior. And it was really sad and really hard for all of us to see that they were liberal, you know, open-minded people when it came to other people, but not to us. And the honest truth is, really hard for my husband and I and my daughter, but his being gender fluid was a lot harder, not because we thought he was bad or something was wrong with him, but because of fear. To live in Central Texas and to have a loss to wear a dress, it was super scary. And I had to really learn and educate myself in order to just, you know, always still be there for him and celebrate that, no matter what he chose to wear or who he wanted to be. And I did come to the point that now I think, dang, he's right. Like, why shouldn't people be able to just express what they want and wear what they want and be who they want? And I feel like really, really honored to be his mother, because I think I've learned a lot and grew as a person. But anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Perhaps we should have a informal custom that if you're mentioning a sermon, you shouldn't necessarily in front of the microphone. But that being said, through John, two very small points, brief points. The experience of discovering more elements of your identity is very different from growing up as a child, as an adolescent, versus doing so as an adult. There was very much a sorting of a wheat from the chaff in terms of who cares about you and who doesn't, which I had to learn the hard way. It's a very different experience. The second thing is, shame on the liquor companies. Shame on them. That is a form of exploitation. It doesn't matter what segment of the population they were marketed towards. Shame on them.
Oh, in the back.
Mel knows my daughter loves to see his shoes every week, so she doesn't care how he is or what. She just sees something that she connects with, and that is her thing. She's always excited, but she won't always tell me. She's a little bashful. I was finding how I connected with the message, and it was a bit difficult, but I found a lot of strength in what you did, still trying to connect with your family, because for me it's easier to just say, I don't care that you don't care. I need you to like me, my family doesn't need to approve of me, I don't need anything from them. I'm good with all that. So it was a lot of strength that you took, continuing to reach out to them and seek what you needed from them and do that. And I thought that took a lot of strength and bravery from you. And I think another point in your lesson that kind of got overglanced is it was about finding your identity, and there's huge differences in being able to do that when you're in survival mode versus just being able to thrive. And I think that's something that in society we kind of overlook, is you can't really find your thrive while you're still stuck in survival. Mm-hmm. It's a very different mindset and way of being just to make day-to-day life. So I've seen that in your story, so you can think that a little bit. I also love your shoes.
I have new ones coming soon. All right. Our second hymn today is Come Sing, number 346 in the gray hymnal. The lyrics will be projected. Please rise in body and spirit as you are able.
Sing a song with me.
All right. Believe it or not, we only have a couple of announcements today. On July 13th, from noon until 2 p.m., the membership team will be hosting an orientation session. The topics will include our UU faith, the history of Sam and the path to membership at San Gabriel. Anyone interested, including the current members, are welcome. Lunch and chocolate. Please sign up on the clipboard at the back on the wall. Two real quick announcements from me. I still have a clipboard back there if anybody is interested. I'm trying to gauge interest in a potential meditation group here, since I now have my certification as a meditation trainer. So if you guys are interested in potentially having a meditation group, please sign up back there. I'm just trying to gauge interest. That doesn't mean you're actually signing up for anything. And then second, choir rehearsals are currently canceled until August 3rd. We will resume choir rehearsals on August 3rd. We're going to take the summer off. And when I come back from the conference at the end of July, hopefully I'll come back with a bunch of awesome information and we'll get something rocking and rolling for the fall. That being said, I am calling up Rob, our current board president, for some announcements he has.
Are we on there?
Yep.
Okay. I do this better than the mic at the podium. I'm too tall for that one. A couple things. First, our annual meeting is next Sunday, immediately following service. This is an important meeting. We're going to be voting on a number of things for next year. We're going to be electing a new board members for next year. We're going to approve a new budget and to approve 2 proposed bylaw changes. Child care will be provided. Last Friday, too much? Last Friday, emailed the announcement to all members who are eligible to vote. The slate of budget and bylaw revisions in PDF format were email. If you did not receive the email, or if you have difficulty opening and viewing the attachments, I have some printed copies here that you can take with you. We'll put those on the back table after I'm done doing this. You have homework. Please review the documents before the meeting next Sunday so you're familiar with what we'll be voting on. And if you have questions on any of that, please contact me or one of the board members. If you won't be able to attend the meeting, I also have printed mail-in ballots handy. Also with the email, we have ballots attached as PDF that you can print off and mail in, or give to somebody to bring to the meeting. Okay, next. UUAGA General Assembly is coming up. It's June 18th through the 22nd in Baltimore. You may also attend online. If you've not already registered, registration is now $540 for adults. Reduced rates for youth, single day and business only are also available. Our congregation may assign up to 3 delegates. If you are attending and are interested in being a delegate, let us know so you can get registered. Delegates represent the congregation at the meeting and vote on various propositions and action items on the GA agenda. That's all I've got.
As we prepare to return to the world, we remind ourselves through our affirmations to carry our work from this place to every corner of our lives. Please join me in the call and response. Love is the doctrine of this church.
We are here to love.
The quest of truth is its sacrament.
We are here to learn.
Service is its prayer.
We are here to care for others.
To dwell together in peace.
We are here to live in peace.
To seek knowledge and freedom.
We are here to honor our differences.
To serve humanity in fellowship.
We are all connected in spirit.
To the end that all souls shall grow in harmony with the divine.
We are here to grow.
Thus we do covenant with one another.
This we promise to do together.
Please join me in reciting the words to extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame to remind us.
Love is the center. As we explore and rest, engage and heal, love remains the center. When all we can see is cold ashes, love remains. I'm going to leave you with two thoughts today. First, my blessing to you today is, may you always see that life is a gift. It's not a promise nor a guarantee. So live today to the fullest and remember to love with your whole heart. I leave you today with one more song, Beneath the Labels, another original that I have written.
In a kitchen warm with twilight's glow, spices dance, a gentle flow. He hums a tune so soft and light, seeking truth in the quiet night. In the mirror, searching deep, layers of himself to keep. Love for all, not bound by name, rewriting pages of his claim. Beneath the shadow, a heart that's true, connections made, cooking love in every bite, songs of freedom take their flight. Friends